And relax your body and focus your mind to this bell sound and follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, before we start our meditation session, so yourself be very clear and how you can practice this technique. So in the beginning, we're going to develop some tranquility meditation steps. So for that, we take our inhalation, exhalation as our primary mental object. Why you need a mental object? Because just using your own thoughts, you cannot calm down your mind. Why? Because your mind itself become busy or unhappy because of your thoughts. So then the very first thing, when you look for calmness, tranquility state, the very first thing you have to come out of your past and future thoughts and stay in the present moment. So when you able to maintain your awareness with one mental object, that doesn't mean it's going to become solid. It's moment by moment change, but in that change, you able to hold, you able to keep your awareness. So in that moment, your body, your mind, your breathing start to work as one. So in the very first thing that you have to do, you have to develop an environment in your mind to be tranquilize yourself like that. Because our main purpose is observing how things come to be as they are. So that things mean itself ourself, our own body. So that is our workplace, not these outside things. Because why? Because once you recognize the very nature of your inside, it's naturally you able to understand how this outside things happening. Another thing is, when you able to go with this the inside experience, when you become more clear with your own inside, what is happening, the doubt become disappear. The doubt cannot happen. So then the clarity arises in you. But if you observe with the outside objects, what will happen? The moment by moment, the doubt become higher. So as example, look, people start to observe this entire universe. And in the beginning, what they did, they just looked the stars and they start to observe the moon and sun with the pure eye. And then what happened? Then it start to build machines and the airships and then the satellite. So airspace, this shuttle, this everything. But look today, after this years after, today where we are. And we have more doubt. No any person came out of the doubt. That doesn't mean we should not observe. Of course we have to, but remember, it is when it comes to self-realization, observing outside can take you to more doubt and difficulties, hard time. But observing inner, and even though in the beginning it little bit difficult for some people, and when you keep practice little by little, what will happen? All the doubt will disappear. There is no space for doubt. The clarity arises. And one thing is, when you go to the vipassana level of deeper and understanding how this body and mind work, that's mean mind and matter. When you clearly understand how this mind and matter work, that's mean body and mind. So when it comes to the body, this all heat, motion, liquidity and hardness maintain this entire body. When it comes to mind, there are four things in mental subject. It called Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa, Nibbana. Chitta means the mind itself. In Buddhism, we don't divide consciousness, subconsciousness, super subconsciousness, universal consciousness. In the deeper level of vipassana, the mind itself take we as a one entity. And the Chaitasika, as a result of that mind, what we experience, we take it as Chaitasika. And the Rupa means according to that Chaitasika, or according to the result of what you experience in your mind can understand it through forms. So without building up a form, you cannot recognize. Just as example, whatever the name, how the mind going to recognize and how the going to communicate with the form. So there are four steps: Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa, Nibbana. Nibbana also inherent in your mind, but it is not the one entity. So then, what is Nibbana means? When you able to take out the form, because the form arise as a result of your thought pattern, Chaitasika. So when you are able to take out the form and it become clear with the thought pattern. When you take out the thought pattern, it become clear with the mind. When you take out the mind, you are in Nibbana. So then in the very surface level, that you have to have a clear understanding. When we practice meditation, don't allow these outside things to become your mental object. So then we take as our primary mental object our inhalation, exhalation. And when it comes to inhalation, exhalation, there are certain teachings and schools, traditions talk about the observing the belly, because the surface level is more higher. And another reason, sometimes people get that they talk about it, because when you are in the mother's womb, you are deeply connected with this umbilical cord. And so we have the awareness deeply connected with our nerve system to our abdominal area. That's why sometimes it called, because of this digestive system, emotions, and everything can store in your abdominal area. So for some people, it is very easily they become very familiar with this abdominal area. So then they feel more comfortable with that. But our purpose is getting to the higher place of the awareness. And so for that, even though there are certain teachings, follow different methods, we stay with the inhalation, exhalation. So somehow in any place, somehow if you able to recognize the change, that's mean anitya, and the unsatisfactory nature, it's mean dukkha, and the selflessness, anatma, then it's going to be okay. So in the beginning, for the beginners, this mental object is important. Why? Because when you go to the deeper level of vipassana, you just drop the mental object. But in the beginning, to make your mind sharp and clear, and we use the inhalation, exhalation in front of the sensation, in front of the nose and upper lip area. Why? Because it make more sharp and clear. And if anybody practice another thing, it is up to them. But today we're going to practice with observing the inhalation, exhalation in front of the nose and upper lip area. And when you observe it, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. So in the beginning, you go step by step. And then this is the beginning, middle, and end. Just get a clear mental knot regarding the inhalation, exhalation, and don't try to involving with anything to do anything. Don't try to interfere with your thoughts. So your main purpose should be settle down, allow your thought to settle down and allow whatever happen and happen it as it is. So that is the very important thing. And once you able to observe without interfering with your own past experience, that's mean your thoughts, then you recognize this natural behavior and the natural pattern of the inhalation, exhalation. And from there, it will help you to calm down. And when you stay little by little, it will help you to calm down, relax, and settle down your body, mind, and the breathing to one point. So once you get into tranquility state, and slowly we go to vipassana level of deeper understanding. So in the vipassana level of deeper understanding, and we go with the 5 aggregates, recognizing how these 5 aggregates happening with the inhalation, exhalation. So inhale, exhale, and itself in the 5 aggregates, the first one is the rupa. The rupa means form. So when you recognize something, this is inhalation, this is exhalation, deeper inside your mind, you recognize it as a form or the matter. And then the Vedana, the feelings arise according to that. And this is going to become a good feeling, and this is going to become a bad feelings or unpleasant feeling or neutral. And maybe when the inhalation, exhalation happen, deeply when you observe the very nature, how you feel with that inhalation, exhalation, you're going to recognize. It is not doing yourself, you cannot do it. As you know, that the nerve system, sympathetic nerve system, parasympathetic nerve system, happening naturally, automatically. So that happened according to the pattern of the inhalation, exhalation. So you can slowly get connected to the deeper level of very being itself with your body. And that recognition, when the inhale happens, sometimes you feel more comfortable. And the exhalation happens, sometimes you feel more comfortable. And sometimes inhale happen, deeply you feel little bit discomfort, and then you want to take deeper, more the body, go for more extra breathing, like then you feel more relaxed. So you get into the recognizing the very behavior of the body moment by moment, following the inhalation, exhalation. So, and that way you observe how this moment by moment change. And the sensation, sanya. So the sensation means itself recognizing deeply. And this has inhalation, this has exhalation. That there should be a with the observer and the object, there is a deeper communication, moment by moment, moment by moment. So this everything happen in a very subtle way, but still you can observe and recognize slowly. When the mind able to settle down, you can see this pattern, how it happening. And then some mental formation, sankara. So the sankara means mental, according to your experience, according to the sensation, you recognizing this is a long inhalation, this is a short inhalation, this is warm, this is cold. So moment by moment that you recognize according to the sensation. And you develop in the deeper level, mind develop the formations according to experience. And the recognition, this everything as one, is the vijnana or consciousness. And this is happened this way. I give you a little example. It's like this. So that rupa means the formations can happen through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So whatever the first connection is the formation. So as example, it like this. So now, even you see this bell, it already that happened to you, just seeing itself, you recognize this is a bell. To happen that, all that 5 things should happen inside you. Another thing is this, and when you hear this, the bell sound, when it happened, that it sound appear to you, and deeper level there is a recognition, and that recognition brought to you a sensation, or pleasant or unpleasant, and that according to that, and you go with the very condition of the sound, and that condition deeply format your inside thoughts, and according to that, the entire process finish you and recognize this is bell sound. In that bell sound, just imagine for a moment, in that your recognition, look, you have, this is a bell sound, this is a pleasant sound or unpleasant sound, and this happen this long, and duration, and the higher or the lower rhythm. So like that, all that information in that one thought. So the thing is this is not happening later or before. Your consciousness not happening later or before when it comes to these 5 aggregates. The consciousness, moment by moment, whatever experience, in that very moment it drop it. In that very moment it drop it. In that very moment it drop it. So it's like this. You recognize this bell sound, and you drop it, and you drop it. and you drop it. So the mind go with whatever happened in the present moment. Your mind, your consciousness, not going to experience the first bell sound. If you experience that other three bell sound, you're not going to hear, but the mind not going to happen. It always drop it, drop it, drop it. This is what called impermanent. And it is the only, not only the, why the consciousness drop that way? Because it build it, that consciousness arise you to you because of the very nature, the mental formations change. Why the mental formations change? Because it arises through the sensation, and sensation change. And why the sensation change? Because of the feelings change. Why the feelings change? Because of the form or the matter change. Why the forms or the matter change? Because it exists with the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. How? So this bell, and as you know, the when it comes to matter, when you take this bell, and this build came out of, even though we see like the brass, so the wood, this all came out of the four elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. There's nothing else. When you take, if you take it to the laboratory, and you will see. So, and itself, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness is itself change. And then your ear itself built with the muscles, bones, blood, vessels. So this all came out of heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So then now just look yourself. When these two things come together, that all changeable format came together and developed that experience as a sound. That's why the sound changed. And if the sound change, and according to that, that is the form that we recognize, and the form change. And if the form change, according to that, and the feelings change. If the feelings change, according to that, sensation change. If the sensation change, according to that, mental formations change. And if the mental formations change, according to that, out of that mental formation, whatever you recognize, that recognition going to change. So that is what we experience moment by moment. And that is what called existence. So the existence, you cannot experience in the past or the future. Always the existence happen in this very moment. Always it's happening, changing, changing, disappearing, disappearing. There is no moment to exist. The existence itself arising, disappearing, arising, disappearing. Even though you feel it's kind of like a happening, in the deeper level of happening, change. Without change, there is nothing you can experience as happening. So with meditation, slowly we're going to experience it within ourselves. That is the main purpose. Once you experience this format, the method yourself, you recognizing how this body experience this all the informations. And then that is where you know this everything change. And once you know that, you not hold it to it. That doesn't mean you very next day you're going to suicide, or you're going to give up everything and you're going to destroy everything. No. You maintain knowingly, not to hold it to it, even to your own ideas. Just look yourself. Why you suffer? Why you worry? Sad, unhappy, disappointment, stress, unsatisfaction. What is this all? These all thoughts. From where it come? it comes from your own consciousness, own awareness, own mind. So then, if you know it moment by moment change, and anymore, there is nothing going to hold as solid experience inside. Then you become like water, just flow like a river, moment by moment, moment by moment. Wherever you are, be there. That is the final place to be. Wherever you are, just be there. It is not the place. I am here or there or that. No. Wherever you are, just be there. So with that, we're going to practice a little bit. So then yourself just bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area and settle down. Don't allow your thoughts to interfere with your experience. Just keep away your thoughts, and then little by little observe and try to experience the deeper level of change, how the change happening. How we go for that? In the beginning, recognize inhalation, exhalation, and then this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. Observe the entire continuation, and then recognize separately uh, the very nature of, sometimes it become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. So, and then slowly drop that all the experience with the very clear empty mind and start to the very happening of inhalation, exhalation, knowingly to recognize the change. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Scan head to toes yourself 3 times. And say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of inhalation, exhalation. So deeply inhale, exhale 3 times and find the sensation yourself. And let your inhalation, exhalation happen itself. And just observe and recognize very clearly. Recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. This is rising, this is falling. If your thoughts go here and there, bring it back again and again. Bring attention to your body. Observe your posture. Your life is not your past or your future. In this very moment, whatever happened to you, it is your life. When you wake up in the morning, so you're able to come out of the bed and walk to your bathroom, do your cleaning yourself. That is blessing. Just appreciate yourself. You enjoy a cup of tea or coffee, glass of water, your meal. That is blessing. There are a lot of people themselves, they cannot do it. They need the help. But look yourself. Even if they have somebody to help, that also a blessing. You have people around you to share your life. There are people around you to share their life with you. That is blessing. Appreciate it. Never get into arguments. Never get into fight. Don't try to overtake anybody. Don't try to win over anybody. Be a loser with your loved ones. That is a great joy and it is the art of living. Appreciate yourself each and every moment as a human being. The moment you experience is very precious. There are a lot of people in this very moment did they disconnect this beautiful life. They disconnect from everything. This everything bound to our breathing. Always remember, when you are able to experience your inhalation, exhalation, that is the miracle can happen in this universe. That is the most important gift that you carry within yourself. So then whatever you lose, don't count over it. Just stay with the highest gift. Appreciate it. With that, we're going to cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it through your confound village, city, state, country, world, in this universe, and as far as we can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. Mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So dear Dhamma friends, when it comes to our life, there are 2 ways that we divide our life to 2 parts. One is conventional life and other one eternal life. So the conventional life means we, in day-to-day life, in this very existence, we maintain our life with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and its receptions with the environment. The eternal life means the beyond our death, after we die, or even and your the existence beyond the mind. So, but the thing is, if you become according to the very nature and the condition of the conventional life, your eternal life going to change. One time Buddha mentioned, idhanandati pechanandati. So that if you become happy, comfortable in this very moment, and then your next moment going to become comfortable, and it going to depend on this situation. And ida tappati peccha tappati. In this very moment, if you become unhappy, sad, worry, and the next moment also going to define and the form according to this situation. So then always you have to remember more than the past in this very present moment. Why? Because the condition of your mind, your awareness, your understanding can mold, create the very next moment. So then be aware, rather than thinking about something, be aware in this very moment how you can maintain a very good, comfortable, clear, the higher level of awareness or the consciousness. When it comes to that, there is something we have to deal with. It called attitude. So the attitude itself is the very conventional meaning is settling the way you think. There are certain kind of the ideas, thoughts regarding something or somebody or some situation, and according to that ideas, you settle down. You become like that. You hold it to that. And then your bodily, verbally, and mentally action. You hold into the way you think. And then it becomes your attitude. And sometimes when it comes to with the other people, sometimes other people say, I don't like that attitude. That person put some attitude on me. And when the other person not clearly connect with you, when there is a disconnection, and that when there is no clarity in between the communication or even the with the people behavior. Why? If one person think the way that he want and another person think the way that, so then the way that another different. So when that thinking patterns and the behavior change, difference, and sometimes some people don't like it. So that is attitude. And that mainly have a relationship with the emotions. So the attitude itself means the way you think, and it when you keep hold it to that, it become your life. And then itself, some people used to be comfortable with that, and it arises with the kind of like feelings, and then it become emotions, and the emotion itself is your thoughts pattern is the energy, and it hold you the journey, energy in motion, and it become your emotions, and it become your life. And then out of that, whatever the bodily, verbally, or mentally action come, and then you go with it. But the thing is, more than regarding other people, we have to focus towards ourselves. What kind of attitude that we carry regarding ourselves? That is the important thing. Maybe some other people don't like. Of course, you don't need any validation from another person. But how about you? So what kind of attitude you put on you? What kind of ideas you carry regarding on you? Why you do certain things for yourself? And even though in the eternal level, in the vipassana level, there is no self. When you come out of this, there is no self. You become more deeper level of, you build up a relationship with the reality. And you come out of this, all the attitude and all the emotions patterns. And you start to have a very clear mindset even when you don't have the self-centered mind or the ego. But even if you have it, how you can transform it to more profitable way. So that is what we have to do in the conventional life before we attain to enlightenment. In this very conventional life, as ordinary people, so how we can develop our own thought patterns not to make us to harm or not to make us to unprofitable our own thoughts, how we can develop a pattern or understanding or awareness to use our own thoughts or the own self-view or the ideas to make it more profitable to ourselves. So then the very first thing is the way you think doesn't work for life. That's the very first thing you have to understand. The way we think doesn't work in life. So you know that. when you look at your own life, if you can reverse the 10 years back, or if you more like to go to the 20 years back or 30 years back, and just look yourself. The way you think doesn't work in life. So why it happened, why it like that? Because when we hold it to that, that's why that our attitude, when we have attitude regarding ourselves, when maybe it is good or bad, it doesn't matter. When we have it, we become more comfortable with that, and we go with it, and we don't see anything anymore. And so then what it work? So then you have to have an idea to lift you, always not to settle down with as ordinary person. Lift your lifestyle little bit better. So it called amplitude. Amplitude mean you lifting to the so ability to do something yourself. You not to hold it to your attitude. Amplitude means you get out of your comfort zone and start to do something. When you're doing that way, there is something else happen. It called altitude. Altitude means that in an ordinary way we say that to measure the height from the sea level. And in a conscious way that you develop, you become more higher person. And when you become more higher regarding yourself, the what you can see become more larger. You can see through the larger scale. So the larger landscape you can get when you go to higher. So the same thing happening with the mentally also. When you develop altitude to do something better, and it uplift your altitude. So altitude is when you go higher, you able to see things very clearly. But when you have an attitude, you cannot do this. So then what you have to do, you have to break down your attitude and develop altitude. APTLITUDE, altitude, LP, amplitude. So when you develop that amplitude, you become a person day by day with your bodily, verbally, mentally action, always trying to do something, new things, and you not hold it to your thought pattern. You break down your attitude. Then every day you become a new person. That is where that it related with the consciousness or the meditation, because every day you refresh your mind. Every day you become a new person. So the attitude make you kind of like every day the same person. So then when you develop the amplitude, and little by little your altitude become higher, you start to experience something better. So then remember to work yourself with these 3 words, and don't get into attitude regarding yourself, and come out of it. How you can come out of and have a amplitude. So the amplitude means You start to do something, that you get ability to do certain things, and it develop your self-confidence. And then as a result, you gain altitude and you go higher, higher, higher. So for that, I'll give a little story. In 1950, that American Railroad Company, and this story related with that. There was a person called Dave Anderson, and he was just the worker. And then one time he had to fix the railroad in somewhere. So he, with his people, with his crew, he went to and do the work. And in the very hot weather and doing hard work. So then suddenly there was a train came and stepped by close to them. And in that train, there was the well AC, very comfortable, one railway car. So from there, the door opened, and then one person put his head out and called, "Hey, Dave, Dave." And this Dave Anderson and look and then say, "Hey, Jim, are you the Jim?" Then the from inside they call, "Yes, yes, come in, come in." So then all other workers and watching this Dave ran to this railway car and jump into it, and inside that they had the discussion, and everybody was wonder, who is this? So then after like 1 hour, they had the chat, and then the Dave came back and start to work, and then the train went away. Then everybody asked, "Hey Dave, who is that?" Then Dave Anderson told, "Why you didn't recognize? It is Jim Murphy." So the Jim Murphy is the chairman for American Railroad. And then everybody was shocked. So you are just a worker like us. How you know this Jim Murphy? So then this Dave Anderson told very nice story about his past, and it is very important for you to understand. Though the Jim Murphy, the Dave Anderson told 20 years back, me and Jim came to this railroad company at the same day. We start work the same day. So our salary was per hour $1.75. So I used to focus myself $1.75 an hour salary. But the Jim Murphy used to focus about entire railroad company. And today, because of his aptitude, he became the chairman. I'm just still working and gain 1 hour salary. So the same thing happened to us. Look yourself, why you go with the same thing? Why you not get into different level? Why you consciously not uplifting your altitude? Because you don't develop any aptitude. You have an attitude regarding you. So that's why this all the misery go through yourself. So it is time to change yourself and look yourself inside. You no need to suffer like this. Suffering always. Suffering is not a worldly nature. The suffering is a condition, it is our choice. The worldliness has nothing to do with the suffering. That the people around us, nothing to do with our suffering. Our suffering deeply come out of our own choice. Our suffering, even you go to the heaven, you go to another planet, you're going to live with the aliens. You're going to be like this. The same kind of problems you're going to have there also. Why? It because your attitude. So then start to develop aptitude. Be a person to do something every day. Don't repeat your life. Start to look around you. And you can do it. And have a very, very fresh, clear mind. Don't cook the same thing every day. Don't eat the same thing every day. And develop certain moderation in your life. Don't keep talking the same thing every day. Don't have the same routine every day. As you know, our body, that's everything accumulate. Once it become a habit, it develop a huge current. That current can overtake your consciousness, awareness, life, your family, your children, everything. It can wash everything away, your habit. So then, aptitude, develop some ability to do something new. And it will uplift your altitude, and then from this level, you change to that level. You don't see this anymore. You don't feel this anymore. So don't stuck with yourself. And always remember, don't be Dave Anderson and try to be like Jim Murphy. And always go for higher until you hit the highest. That is mean ultimate bliss of Nibbana. Don't stop the journey, that you keep going. Keep that kind of attitude in you rather than with this unnecessary, unprofitable attitude that you hold it to yourself. So that is the best you can do to yourself. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you. Thank you very much, everyone.